Thanks for stopping in. I'm Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming. Just want to take one moment. A great way to support the channel for absolutely free. Simply subscribe, and hitting the like button does help out a lot. Also, if you want to be one of the first to get notifications, and for some reason YouTube doesn't like to notify people if they're subscribed to the channel, when a new video drops, I've been hearing a lot of people complain about that lately. So hit the bell button. That's the best way. You hit the bell, and you will be one of the first to get a notification, basically guaranteed from YouTube, sent straight to your device. Also, I'm not sponsored by anyone. The people that sponsor this channel are patrons. Unlike a lot of other channels who have sponsorship, this channel is completely sponsor-free, and I intend to keep it that way. Well, let's get into it. Stomping Ground. Big hit. I do like this. This was needed, but it was expected. We all knew it was coming out. As Stomping Ground enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. This is going to be huge for red-green builds. I do like my dragons, and I do like my elves, and maybe there could be some fun stuff coming up in the near future here. I am anticipating elves, an elf deck, making the top 8 in the new meta with Allegiance right around the corner. Call me crazy. I understand. But right now, elves are basically on the edge of becoming a very competitive deck. They already are in just most normal events, but making top 8 GPs, they're just falling a little shy. They need something else, and maybe Stomping Grounds will help that out with some crazy concoction. I know I'm brewing up a build right now using elves and Banefire and a few other tricky cards, and just devastating the opponent. That deck tag, keep an eye out for it. Should be coming out within a couple days, but a card like this will definitely aid that kind of build. Hallowed Fountain and Godless Shrine. Hope you sold your copies months ago, once the first batch of Shocklands was announced in Guilds of Ravnica. I would hope if a lot of you had play sets of these or whatnot, we're going to get rid of them before the price dropped. But the crazy thing is these cards really don't drop that much in value. Like right around the time they first hit, that's when it's all about, okay, what deck's going to be the next big thing? And I can tell you one thing. I'm pretty sure our white-black friend over here is going to be a pretty big deal to mess with. We're going to see a lot more white-black decks. And Hallowed Fountain, yep, that's going to help out with Teferi and all that other fun stuff. Teferi probably the least liked Planeswalker out of all of them. When that thing hits, you're just in fear. But Teferi is going to get a boost as well, and you're going to see Teferi running in so many decks. It's going to be ridiculous. But these Shocklands are pretty awesome. I like the artwork on them as well. Here's Breeding Pool and Blood Crypt. Breeding Pool. Merfolk. Are we going to see a top 8 return of Merfolk? It looks like Merfolk's getting a tiny bit of aid. Not much we can see in this spoiler or this leak, but it does seem like we're going to have some Merfolk. I would love to see Merfolks, Goblins, and Elves in top 8 decks. I think that would be phenomenal. It seems like Merfolk and Elves, again, were very shy of making their way into it. Also, Zombies. I would love to see Zombies make their return. Probably my favorite creature type is Zombie. Will they get the help they need? I don't know. But this is a good start. Definitely land-based helps out a lot. Also, we're going to see some Rakdos threats, man, left and right, with Blood Crypt coming out. Watch out for them aggro black-red decks. So let's get into some of the actual card spoilers that we aren't aware of. Growth Spiral. It's a 2-drop. Yeah, it's a common, I understand. Draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Nothing spectacular, but when you combine it with maybe something like Bethic Druid over here, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card. It's a 3/3. Yeah, it's 5 to drop. I mean, it's hard to say, but I was trying to find something where the Growth Spiral, I mean, besides ramping up, early game, Growth Spiral was great. But outside of that, what else could it go with? And Bethic Druid is something. I'm not sure you're going to want to base your entire deck around this idea, but it is a thought. There's that. Mortify. Originally printed in Guild Pact. Got a reprint. Awesome card. Destroy target creature or enchantment. We're probably going to see Esper Control overtake Jeskai Control. Right now, Jeskai's winning the race, but with Mortify coming out and them Teferi decks, this thing's going to control. You're going to be taking out History of Benalia with this, amongst 4 or 5 other amazing enchantments currently in the meta. Mortify is going to be something that's going to be definitely played heavily, if not in main boards. I'm sure it'll be in main, but also in sideboards as well. Really excited this card was reprinted. We're going to see a shift of power here. It's definitely coming up, guys. But Teferi, yeah, that's no new news. I think Teferi is probably going to go up in value another few bucks here. Rakdos Firewheeler. First glance, let's take a look at it. It's a 4-drop. Now, a lot of us were like, man, these 4-drops with 2 of one color and 2 of another color. I was skeptical. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. But then look what happened, like Golgari Finebroker, just to name one. That's a top 8 deck, coming in first place at times with Golgari midrange, just nasty. These are, even the Is It Drake build, something to be very feared are these 4-drop cards that I underappreciated for sure. But you got to give it respect. When Rakdos Firewheeler enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target opponent and 2 damage to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. It's a 4/3. So not only this thing comes out, it's going to deal 2 damage to your opponent, which is cool, and 2 damage to a creature, so you can remove a creature, or maybe a low, ticked up loyalty planeswalker. Got 1 or 2 on it, just want to finish it off, or maybe just keep it low. Your Teferi, has 3 on it, knock it down to 1. Great card. Also, being that it's a 4/3, you got a little backbone here. It can also be a blocker or, attack it next turn for 4 damage. Pretty cool card. Not sure what to make of it yet. I kind of was dismissive at first, but you gotta have your mind in the right spot when you're looking at these kind of cards, because it's hard to tell what's going to happen with them. Light the Stage. Cool artwork. Whole lot of blazing fire going on there from the underground. What is this creature called? What is the name of that creature? Anyone know? It looks familiar. I've probably seen it in a nightmare. But if this is a new mechanic, Spectacle. It's a 3-drop. Uncommon sorcery. Spectacle for 1 red mana. Exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Doesn't seem very amazing, but what is Spectacle? We can only speculate what Spectacle is at this point. No one knows yet. If anyone does actually know, by all means, please let me know. But I want to hear what you guys think it is. My guess, what I'm throwing out there, spitballing, maybe some kind of scry. You tap the 1 extra, and you're able to put a +1/+1 on something. Maybe you can scry 1 card and get rid of it, and then go. But why would it just say scry? I don't know. It's crazy. Or maybe when you Spectacle, instead of exiling the top 2 cards of your library, you only exile the top card of your library. But that would seem kind of cheap. I think that seems kind of cheap. Or maybe when you add Spectacle to it, you can do the top 3 cards of your library. You get 1 more out of it. Maybe a +1/+1 counter, like I said. I have no clue. But if you guys, if you want to speculate what it could be, I'm open for the discussion in the comment section. That would be something I'd love to entertain. So let's hear what you got. Simek Ascendancy. I put bulk rare. Great possibility. Mana sink at best, maybe. Simek Ascendancy is a 2-drop enchantment. It's a rare. For 3, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Hooray. Okay? That's not a huge thing. Maybe later in the game, maybe you got your creatures that benefit huge when a +1/+1 counter is put on them. That's great, or you put a +1/+1 counter whenever a +1/+1 counter is put on something, another +1/+1 counter gets put on it, Could this be big? I don't know. But being that it's 3 mana to do that, if it was 2 mana, that'd be phenomenal. And I would definitely say it's going to see a lot of play. But being that it's 3, it's really hard to say. But it's a great sync and great for any decks that are trying to do the +1/+1 counters. Also, that land might start seeing some play if we get some more multicolor cards here that go with the Simek Ascendancy. Hey, also Merfolks. This might find its way into a Merfolk deck. This might be the card that breaks Merfolk. No, probably not. But whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, put that many growth counters on Simek Ascendancy. Kind of silly at the beginning of your upkeep if Simek Ascendancy has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. If you were able to put 20 +1/+1 counters on your creatures in a game and standard, that is phenomenal. Usually a game will end with maybe 5 or less. That's pretty common. Maybe 10 or less. 20, maybe you're just running, one of those crazy control decks. And then maybe this card would help out with that. And then you're looking for long-term winning. But then with that other card, was it Mortify printed? You're just this enchantment's gonna blow up, kaboosh. It's going, so it's really hard to say what this is gonna do. I don't think it's gonna do much though, but you never really know. The Haunt of Hightower. I was pumped to see this legendary creature vampire. Sorry about the blurred vision here. It's the best we got. But I'm assuming it's a limited bomb at best. 3 toughness just means this card is very vulnerable. If it had, I always use the ifs. If it were a 4/4, this would be phenomenal. I think it'd be a great card. You got a 6-drop, flying, and lifelink. Yeah, it's nothing like our Doom Whisperer. 6/6 trample and surveil too is just outrageous, but with flying and lifelink, it's pretty neat. And then when the Haunt of Hightower attacks, defending player discards a card. The cool thing about this, when a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on the Haunt of Hightower. You can definitely pump this sucker up. Now, if only it had trample, flying, lifelink, and trample, I think that's the route they should have gone with this card, but then you would have had 2 huge powerhouses in black flying overhead. If they would have added trample to it, I could definitely see it being worth bringing into games. But with only 3/3, it just ain't cutting it. They needed to up it or something, maybe a 4/4. This is probably going to be maybe a $1 card. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe there's going to be something crazy that happens here. Some new ramp mechanic. Maybe, tap this creature, adds 2 swamp to your mana pool. Probably not going to happen, but you really never know. We'll see how it pans out here. But I do like that it can get big and it's got flying and lifelink. Pretty cool. Here are the promo cards that we have. I did not take this photo myself, but someone else did. I do like the Mortify. That looks pretty neat. The Haunt, nice and shiny right there. Can't really see the art on the Rakdos, but we saw it earlier. And late to stage, got a little glare on it. But pretty cool to see all this. Let me know your guys' thoughts, opinions. What's your favorite card? I think mine right now would be the dual land. That's coming out. That's pretty neat. The shock land's returning. So far, that's mine. Again, guys, thank you for watching. Support the channel, hit the like button, bell button, and be subscribed. It goes a long way. And I appreciate you watching. Also, stay tuned, because within a day or two, we're going to be giving away that Tarmogoyf and also the other cards and those other 2 booster box opening videos. If you haven't seen those yet, now's your last chance. Go back, check out the first 2 videos I dropped of the Ultimate Masters, and you can be entered to win. Appreciate you tuning in. As always, peace, love, and affection.